welcome to a brief history of Irish step dancing. I'm your host, Madeline Marita. When you hear the words Irish step dancing, is the first thing you think of something like this? Well, do not fear. Many people think of a chorus line of dancers all stepping and clicking in time. This is primarily due to the popularity of Riverdance, a theatrical show that took over the world back in 1994. However, the history of Irish dance goes much further back, like all the way back to when the Celts and Druids roamed the island, free of Christian invaders. Step dancing did not gain popularity until the 18th century, when these really cool guys, known as dance masters, started teaching. Before the dance masters came around, dances were passed down in villages, but the dance masters spread step dancing throughout the country. They traveled from city to city, teaching young boys manners and dance moves. Boys? Yes, you heard me right. Irish step dancing began as a male-dominated activity. It wasn't until over a century later, when step dance competitions started gaining popularity, that females became the main step dancers. But what brought about step dancing competitions, you might ask? The Irish are known for many things: St. Patrick, beer, potatoes, and of course, their hatred for the English. A justified hatred after years of England trying to take away Irish independence. During a particularly rough period that lasted all of the 19th century, Ireland became part of the United Kingdom and was ruled by Parliament in London. Ireland was also struck by the Great Famine of the 1840s. Due to a lack of potatoes and other food, many fled the country. So the English began moving in to take over the land. The Irish were like, hey, that's not cool. So they started the nationalist movement to unite against English rule and invasion. The Gaelic League was formed as a way of holding on to Irish language and culture. The Gaelic League was like, hey, we got this cool step dance. Let's make sure we pass it on, and not some dumb English dance. So they made a bunch of rules and started hosting competitions. Ireland even started a governing body for competitive Irish step dancing, called the Irish Dancing Commission. Creative, right? In no time, dance schools began popping up, and boys and girls were being trained in step dance. Competitions continue to grow in popularity, and today, most Irish step dance routines are performed for competitions that may look something like this. bit different from Riverdance, huh? Most step dances are performed solo, or in small groups of 2 or 3. As you probably noticed, the most theatrical aspect is the costumes. Girls are expected to wear white poodle socks, as modeled by our lovely American Girl doll, or black tights with dresses that are usually brightly colored and decorated with embroidery and sparkles. Girls often wear crowns that match their dresses, but our model here is missing one element: the wig. Ringlet wigs are worn to emphasize the frequent jumping in Irish step dance. Boys wear slightly different costumes. They used to be required to wear kilts, but now most just wear black pants and bright vest, which is not all that exciting and not worth showing.
So let's talk about something worth showing: the shoes.
There are 2 main types of shoes for Irish step dance: the hard shoe and the soft shoe. Hard shoes are called hard because they are literally made with fiberglass, which adds some nice clicking noises as one is dancing. For lighter step dances, like the reel and slip jig, girls wear soft shoes, which are similar to ballet shoes. Boys are not about that soft shoe life, so they wear real shoes when they compete in soft shoe competitions. They are basically just quieter versions of the hard shoes.
Let's finish our discussion with a little music, huh? Irish step dance is performed to Irish traditional music, which is a form of folk music. It's not quite like the folk music you hear in Kentucky, though. Oh no. It is called folk music because it started in rural areas and was passed down orally. Irish traditional music features a variety of musical instruments, including fiddles, flutes, accordions, banjos, pipes, guitars, and whistles. There is no need for drums because step dancers stomp out percussion patterns with their shoes. The most popular form of Irish step dance is the double jig, which uses intricate patterns based on basic shuffling, grinding, skipping, drumming, and battering movements. Its music is set in 6/8 time, but don't let me bother you with numbers. Let's take a listen. The second most popular form of Irish step dance is the reel. It is a very energetic dance featuring lots of leaping, and the music used for it is just as energetic.
The slip jig, also called the hop, is the most graceful form of step dance. It is too graceful for the manly Irish, so males are not allowed to compete in slip jig championships. Slip jig movements include light hopping and sliding, and the dancer travels to infinity and beyond. Well, maybe not that far, but they do travel farther across the stage in the slip jig than they do in any other form of Irish step dance. The music for slip jig is played in 9/8 time, which helps give it the graceful feel heard here.
Well, that's all for now, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this brief history of Irish step dancing.